Now today I wanted to do something that I was doing a lot right at the start of the year, but I have since neglected, and that is I'm going to share with you my budget. Now things have changed a little bit for us, so we are now in a position where looking after your pennies is now a limited company. So previously I was self-employed, so the money would come in and I just kind of spent it as it went. And now, as we're a limited company, my husband and I are each taking a salary, so we're getting more regular income. This doesn't say stay the same every month, but it is much more consistent. So this has been helpful for us to be able to budget a little better. Now obviously a few other things have changed as well. So a few bills have gone up and down and we've tweaked our lifestyle a little bit to match. In this video I want to show you exactly what is going on with our budget, and hopefully that will inspire you to do some work on your budget too. So welcome to the Looking After Your Pennies YouTube channel. My name is Charlotte Jessup and I talk about all things financial education. So I love talking about budgeting, investing, pensions, saving money, making money, and a whole load more. Sharing my budget with you today is part of my journey, I suppose, around where I'm going with my money, and hopefully it will show you how I achieve my financial goals and how I look to save money, and I guess it's just the general process that we go through. So in a minute, I'm going to share with you my actual budget. Now this is on my budget spreadsheet, which is free. So if you visit lookingafteryourpennies.com/budget, you will be able to sign up, get that budget spreadsheet, and you can use the exact document that I will be using in this video. So you can kind of do this along with me. Now I've entered a few of the figures into this spreadsheet already, so it saves me time and I don't have to type them all in. Some of them are copied over and some of them I want to talk about in more detail today. So let's jump in and take a look. Okay, so here it is. Now the first thing you might notice is that I haven't done this in a while, so naughty me for being a bad money YouTuber, but we haven't really felt the need. Generally, things stayed the same. It's only really been in the last month or so that things have been a bit different. So like I said, we've become a limited company, so we're now getting a salary rather than just odd bits of money here and there when we were self-employed. We have also reduced some of our bills, and I'll talk about that in just a second. So as you can see over on the left-hand side here, we have our income. So this is where I'm recording all of the money that is coming in. So as you can see, both myself and my husband are bringing in an income that is the same. So we both work for the company. So we bring a certain amount in like that. You can also see that we have child benefit on there. So we've got 2 kids. So it works out at roughly £140. I think it's gone up a little bit, so I should probably go and check and make this a bit more accurate. We still got side hustles. So my husband and I still have side hustle income. Now that money, we're actually just stashing at this point. There's quite a small amount of money after we put some aside for tax and that sort of thing. So we've got like separate pots where we keep our side hustle income tax payments that we're going to need to make. So we put all that aside. And so the money that is on this particular on this spreadsheet here is money that is then left over, and we are just saving that. So if you have a look over into the expenditure column, you will see that we've got like £400 worth of personal savings, and that is that side hustle income. Now I might tweak that in a little bit because we've got a little bit left over, but yeah, all of that money that comes from our side hustles, we're just saving separately at the moment. So then in the middle here is where the expenditure happens. Now, the first thing that I always look at is the housing. Now, typically these costs stay the same. This month, we've actually got a bit of a change. So weirdly, since I last did this, our council tax has gone down. It was £135 and it's now £129. So not quite sure what happened there. I think maybe it was because we weren't spread out over as many months last year or something like that. But anyway, that's gone down by a little bit, so that's good news. The biggest one is our mortgage. So we changed our mortgage. So yeah, remortgaged, got a different rate. And that took our mortgage payment down by £20 a month. I've also put a bit of money on there for house maintenance. We've got a few jobs we want to do around the house and we're continuing to save towards those. I'm going to add here though, because I put a little note when I was preparing this video that I want to pay off an extra £100 towards the mortgage this month. So I'm going to change this mortgage here to include that extra £100. So the 374 is what we have to pay, and then we've now got an extra 100 on top of that. As you can see, I've got these percentages. So these percentages are like goal amounts that I have set. So they're roughly kind of arbitrary figures. You can adjust these to suit you. So I work on about 35% of our total income should be for housing. So as you can see here, with the figures that I've got here, there's only 23%. And we're really fortunate. Our mortgage is cheap. We've been like overpaying it for years. So like the basic amount that we have to pay is pretty small these days. Right, utilities are next. So we've had some changes here too. So our electricity and gas has gone down. I switched providers. That meant that we are now paying less. However, our water bill has increased. So it went up by like £10 a month. I'm going to have to look into this because I'm not sure that that's a true reflection of the amount of water that we are using. So it's definitely one thing that I want to follow up as, you know, throughout some point this month, just to check that we're still, you know, paying the right amount for that. Phone and internet hasn't changed. I think that's due to run out in about 3-4 months. And then we'll look at maybe getting a different contract that's a bit less. Mobile phone is still quite expensive. My husband is still on the fence about whether he wants to keep his current phone, change his contract and things like that. So for now, we're paying a bit more than I would like, but that's okay. He's still deciding, so that's fine. Food and drink is obviously a tricky one. And this one is harder to calculate exactly how much you're going to spend. So I normally work on about £350 per month for food. And because it's the summer holidays, you know, the kids are off, there's probably going to be a few like McDonald's and, you know, pizzas and things like that from takeaways. And this works out, you know, it's about £25 a week over the next few weeks. And again, that's still under the goal amount. So I've got about 15% for food, and yeah, we've got 13% there. Now, eating out is now a thing, so we might, you know, move some of that takeaway allowance into eating out. But I think, you know, taking kids to restaurants isn't the most fun thing in the world, so we'll probably do most of our fun eating in our house. Transport then. So I have just filled up our car without the school runs, without nursery drop-offs and that sort of thing. I doubt we're going to be using any more fuel than I've put in already, so that can stay the same. Car insurance and car tax. Now, I have tweaked these a little bit because I spent some time looking at exactly how much our car insurance costs and how much our car tax costs. And what I have is a car pot put aside where I put money into for things like car tax, car insurance and MOT. So these two figures here make up the money that goes into that sinking fund for the car. So these are not paid monthly, they're paid annually, and the money is being moved and put to one side so it is there for when we need to pay it. We also need a couple of little jobs done on our car, so I've put a chunk of money there for car maintenance. It might end up being more than that, but we do have additional savings that we can tap into if we need to. But topping that up, giving that a bit extra this month. Right, I'm going to come back to savings in a little bit and talk through those. Entertainment then. So we don't have TV license. We don't watch live TV. We do have a Netflix subscription though, so that's $8.99 a month, and that's pretty much all we have. So I'm currently a student, so I get things like Amazon Prime for free. We were gifted Disney Plus, so we don't need that. So yeah, so our TV costs are pretty low. Because it's the summer holidays, I've also put a bit extra in there for days out. So we've got another £200 in there for days out. And I'm also putting some aside for things like holidays. So we might combine the days out pot and the holidays pot and have a little week away camping or something like that. But that money is just kind of like earmarked for those purposes. Next up is insurance. So again, we've got things like life insurance, house insurance, and we've also got things like car breakdown. We get travel insurance and mobile phone insurance included in what you can see as other insurances one here. Then we've got personal. Now, normally I'm really hesitant to put things in here, but as our income is a bit more stable now, and we've got plenty of cash to kind of play around with, I added an allowance on there for personal as well. So this is things for me and my husband, just the odd bits and pieces that we need. Doesn't, you know, it might cover clothes. I haven't put a specific budget in here for clothes, but it could just be, you know, things that we want, just fun spending. There's normally a few bits and pieces like books and bits that I like to buy. So I've got an allowance on there for that. I've also got toiletries, some of my skincare products that I like to use have run out, so I've added that £50 on there for toiletries. In giving, we haven't got any birthdays this month. August for my family and for my husband's family, we have none in August, which is a real joy. But I have a regular sinking fund that is for Christmas, so I put £50 aside in that. Now, I would like to put some additional money into our giving pot. So, as I can see over on the balance section, I've still got £164 to play with. So I'm going to put the majority, so 150, let's say, into that giving pot. And I'm not quite sure where that's going to go yet. It might go towards family members or it might go to something else. Now, looking back up here at the savings then. So savings, we've got that personal savings amount, which was from our side hustles. That's still going to be there. We're going to have investments as well. So we're going to put some money into our stocks and shares ISAs, and we're going to do that to the tune of £500. Now, it could be that we move some of that personal savings over into our investments just to give that a bit of a boost. We've got a fully stocked emergency fund, and we've got lots of sinking funds going on for other bits and pieces. So it's not necessary that we keep a lot of cash in savings, but we'll have a conversation about that as the month goes on. Now, pensions, we used to pay for this ourselves. When we were sole traders, we had to make our pensions contributions ourselves. So this is kind of like left over from that. Now that we're running the business as a limited company, we make our pensions contributions via the business. So this isn't included in these figures. Our pensions contributions will come out of the business money rather than our own money. We've got junior ISAs here. This is money that we are using for our kids and we're investing that. So they have an automatic payment of £25 each. I'm going to top that up and make it £50 each for this month. We'll also do some other investing. So if you've watched some of our other videos, you will see that I'm doing building an ESG portfolio on eToro, and I put in £50 a month into that. So I've just earmarked that £50 there to go into these other investments. So that is basically it. You can see here I've got about £14.37 left over. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add that to our personal savings. It might as well go there for now, and we'll let it build up. When it gets to a bigger amount, we can move it over into investments if we want to. So that is essentially it, and you can have a little look here and you can see some of the percentage breakdowns. So the majority of our income comes from the company. So we've got 85% of our income is coming from there. We've also got 4% that comes from benefits, which is child benefit, and we've got 11% comes from side hustling. That varies up and down month by month. As you can see, our housing costs are less than 25%. We're spending a really small amount on utilities, so 6% there. Food and drink is just 13%, and transport is just 7%. We're really not spending a huge amount on that. If I could get rid of the car, I would, but we just need it every now and again. Now, our savings, so I would say a minimum of like 10% is a good figure. We're actually saving and investing around 30% of our income. And when you think about it, we've also got some other sinking funds and bits and pieces going on as well. So we've got a house maintenance pot, we've got a car maintenance pot, we've also got things like Christmas and stuff going on. So our actual savings are probably a bit more than that, but those sinking funds are much more functional, so I don't consider them as part of our savings and investment strategy. Entertainment is 9%, and that's with a huge amount on like days out on holidays because it's the summer holidays. That will go down a lot in September as the weather gets worse and the kids are back at school. Insurances are just 1%, they're a small amount. We've also got like the personal allowance is big this month, but we're just trying to treat ourselves a little bit more. And around, birthdays and giving, this is still quite a small percentage really. We're at 6%, I've got 8% here. So maybe that's something that we will look at and see if we can move some money around from that. So there we go, that is my August budget. Like I say, if you want to do your budget, you can get hold of this spreadsheet. The link is in the description. You can use this video as motivation, inspiration, or just guidance to help you manage your own budget. A big thank you for watching this video today. I will catch you in the next video. But for now, make sure you hit subscribe, turn on those notifications, hit the like button, and leave me a comment. How are you getting on with your budget? What's different this month from previous months? And what are you going to do going forwards? Thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.